Welcome back to Side Roads. I'm Carlos, and this is the 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV. A special thanks to the team at Quantrill, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac for providing the car for this video. I am very excited to be driving this car today. It's my first official EV. I've been in other EVs, of course, but I haven't driven one, and I haven't driven one for the channel, so this is pretty cool. And bear with me, because remember, I'm just a regular guy that started the channel and love cars, and I'm doing this because it's my passion, but I'm a regular guy, so I get excited as a car lover about these type of things, like driving brand new cars all the time, but especially now the new and special super cool cars like this one. So this is the Chevrolet Blazer EV. It's a recently new product from Chevrolet, and is really cool looking. You'll see that across the video, but that's something that is worth noticing or mentioning, because it is truly a statement. You see it and you will be attracted to it. It's a very bold design, but it's cool, and it looks modern and futuristic, but it's still current. I really like how this car looks. So the Blazer EV comes with two power options. I don't think we can call those engines, but they configure that based on rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive, as Chevrolet calls it, makes 288 horsepower, or its claim, and 333 pound-feet of torque, and of course is all-wheel drive, and that is based on a 85 kilowatt hour battery pack. Then the second power option is only available on the rear-wheel drive vehicles, which at this point is only the RS model. By the way, they have two models, the LT and the RS, and there is an SS coming soon with more power and more special, but that's not yet available. So the rear-wheel drive one makes 340 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque, and is based on a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack. Something super important to mention about an electric car, and I think that this creates a little bit of anxiety, and in general, even if it's not, it's important for people to know, and I wanted to share, is that Chevrolet offers 8 years or 160,000 kilometers of guarantee for the battery, which is 100k miles. The Blazer EV comes with level 1 and level 2 charging capacity, so give more options there, and you can charge it at home, or you can use DC fast charging, which is cool, which, by the way, Chevrolet claims that it can charge up to 80 miles in around 10 minutes. Why is that also important? Well, because if you need to do a long trip and you need to stop and you don't have much time, you know, in 10 minutes stop you can get 80 miles and then stop later on, or maybe those 10 minutes will take you to your final destination without having to necessarily spend 30, 40, or the whole time that the car is charging park in your journey. So that's pretty cool and very efficient too. So the Blazer EV competes with cars like the Ioniq 5 from Hyundai, the Mustang Mach-e from Ford, The Prologue, which is from Honda, is a brand new product and it's based on this same platform. And Tesla Model Y, which is the king, at least on sales. But I've seen a lot of these in the road, and Chevrolet, it's a beloved brand and have a lot of loyalty. And with this, I believe this is a very strong product that will attract a lot of people. And then there will be people that, for example, will only get a Chevrolet, and now they have the EV option at this level. They had EVs before and smaller packages and a different intentions and different markets and everything, but I think this is going to change the game for the proportions of EV sales for Chevrolet, for sure. Well, for sure not. That's my opinion. Standard safety features for the Blazer EV are things like enhanced automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian and bicyclist braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, forward collision alert, follow and distance indicator, intersection automatic emergency braking, and rear cross traffic braking. But remember, this is an EV, so that's the base stuff. You can get a lot more features than that, and there will be available Super Cruise, I believe it's called, from Chevrolet. I confirm in the video right here, which is a semi, self-driving system from Chevrolet. Although you technically can talk about fuel efficiency, here is a conversion that the brands and the market does to make people have a reference. I prefer to talk about range while talking about electric cars. So the Chevrolet Blazer EV range in the LTE all-wheel drive, or any model all-wheel drive, is 449 kilometers on a full charge, which is 279 miles. And the rear-wheel drive models, the range is 521 kilometers on a full charge, which is 324 miles. Price for the Blazer EV in Canada starts around 60,000 Canadian dollars. The top trim, or the RS trim, starts around 67,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, the LT starts around 48,000 US dollars, and the RS trim starts around 53,000 US dollars. There are some options to be had, but the prices should stay pretty close to that. The Chevrolet Blazer EV interior. So it is really cool in here, and let me start by saying that it's car-like, which is cool. In fact, Chevrolet is going through renewing their fleet, and this design theme here you can find in several Chevrolet vehicles. What that does is that you can have a regular gas car, or move to an electric, or move from an electric to a gas car, and then feel at home and that you are driving a normal car. And I think that's cool. There are some offerings that are a little bit crazier, but it's a matter of taste too. I think all the modern and all the new take on design and technology and cars is cool. I like it overall, but I also like this. I like this product and the proposal of car-like in an electric vehicle, so you are less scared by getting into one. Okay, so the design is really cool, and if you see my video, for example, of the Chevrolet Trax, it's pretty similar. I will say that the Trax is a mini Blazer EV, and that's cool. So the materials are all good quality and soft and good looking, and the touch points are soft and comfy. I've been driving this car for hours now, and I'm super comfortable, starting with the seats. But It's really cool. There is hard plastics on the bottom portion. That's to be expected. This is not an inexpensive car, but the whole electric technology, I guess, takes a bunch of the budget from Chevrolet and any brand that is giving you an electric car. So I'm cool with this. So it has this contrast stitching here. I don't know if you can see it, and has like an Alcantara thing in blue with a blue stitching, and then like a different level. So visually it's really cool. And I'll show you in the video the air vents are similar to those. They are like turbines or something, are really cool looking, and gives the car a little bit of extra special vibe, let's say. The seats are a combination of leather and Alcantara and fabric. They are really cool looking, and as I said, they are really comfortable. I like them a lot. The passenger power window is one touch up and down. It has two memory seats for two drivers, which is also cool to have. So all these very car-like, very Chevrolet-like. So the steering wheel is leather wrapped and is heated, of course, but also really thick. And I like that because it makes the car feel really sporty. This is a personal preference, absolutely, but I like this. Then we have an 11 inches digital gauge cluster, which again, more and more you will find this type of setup in GM products. But of course here, you know, it's super cool and super clear, and you can see everything. It's really, really cool. And then we have this massive 17.7 inches entertainment screen here for all your car functions and the radio and all that, the infotainment screen. So it is very, very big. The icons then are also super big. You can read everything. You can see the design on the icon. These screens from Chevrolet are so clear. It's impossible not to see something. So even though they are screens and they are modern, you will find everything you need here because they are so easy to use and so clear. So this is typical Chevrolet infotainment system, so all the functions and the icons and everything is typical, modern and updated from previous models, but not so far off. So it's easy to use, it's user friendly. That to me is key when bringing all these screens and digital stuff to cars. So that's good and very well done by Chevrolet. So I have a volume knob here, which is huge too, and I have some air conditioning controls here, which are physical buttons too. I like that. And then you can control some of the function from the screen as well, and those are always visible. For example, the heated seats are on the screen but are there, are big, you can see them, so not a big deal. There is a wireless charger and a little cubby here, and a cup holder and another cubby here, and a massive center console, which I said it was comfy. So all this is super practical and super well designed and functional. I really like that. There is no roof in this unit. I think that's an option. I have to check that out. You'll see it in the screen. But other than that, it feels like a regular car here, and I like that a lot. And because it's an EV and it's expensive, and Chevrolet is trying to push these vehicles forward, well, they throw here these 17 inches and all this technology and cool features here that are separating this vehicle a little bit from the rest. But in terms of design and ergonomics and functionality, you will see this in all Chevrolet products, and I like it, and I like it a lot. I fit behind myself based on my driving position, and there is plenty of space. This is a spacious car. It's big in the back, it's comfortable, and then the trunk, it is practical, I guess, big enough. I don't think it's a big enough the class. I think because of the design of the car and the lower roof, and this is like a wagon type of thing, so it's not huge, but it's practical and it's usable, and I think it's okay. How is to drive the Chevrolet Blazer EV? Well, it's really cool, of course. And remember full disclosure, it's my first time driving an EV, so my impression right now is a little bit biased. I am super excited. I'll try to deliver to you as objective as possible. So it has this, first of all, it's really quiet here. Of course, that is a characteristic of electric cars because there is no engine noise. And of course, Chevrolet made sure that they insulated this car very well, so the whole electric experience is here, so there's very little road noise and wind noise. So pretty cool. Then there is the acceleration, which is another of the features or cool features that EV has. I personally believe that you will do that the few first time and when you are showing your new car to your friends to show off. But in general, that will, if you are accelerating all the time and doing this instant torque and full power out of the gate like a roller coaster type of thing, is super cool to experience. It's very unique, but it will consume your battery and then the car will be very inefficient and you will have to be charging all the time, and it may affect also the how long the battery will last overall. So it's cool. You'll do it at the beginning because it's impossible not to do it. It's very exciting and new, and I'm sure everybody does it, but it's a cool feature that is not something that you will be doing all the time. What it is important to me, at least, is the passing power and the emergency reaction of the car. So if you need to pass in the highway, you have very little space, or it's an emergency maneuver, then you have all that power right there, so you will never be stressed about turbo lag or the engine kicking in or the transmission downshifting. Nothing of that is present here. So there is a safety feeling attached to those characteristics of the car, which I appreciate even more than the funny and exciting crazy acceleration portion. So that is really cool, and it's also very satisfying. The suspension is another characteristic on EVs, and brands have to work really hard to make sure that they are balanced. EVs are heavy cars. They have to carry all the batteries, and for some reason the market started with powerful cars instead of efficient cars. So we have bigger cars with a lot of power, meaning a bigger battery, a heavier battery. So the cars are heavy, and for that the suspension have to make sure that they can carry the passengers, the batteries, so up the imperfections from the road, and do all this extra stuff. So it's a lot more put in. It's an extra effort for engineers and all that to make sure that they are also considering all that weight without making the car weird. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is very comfortable. It floats a little, but it feels planted, and it is, so when you turn and you maneuver, you can feel the mass, and that's something that you cannot escape from in any car, in any EV, because it is there. It is there, and you have to live with it, and you need to learn how to drive or get used to the feeling of that here. But it's nothing that will make anybody walk away from having an EV, I think. So I like the suspension of this car. I think that's the point. It feels planted. It's not floating a lot. I just went through a bump, and the car stays planted and stays firm. So I like that, but also very comfortable, which is also a characteristic that is there in many EVs because of that, because you need travel in the suspension, and you need to make sure that you can hold the battery and the car all together. So I like that. The steering here is, I don't know, it's in the middle. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. The car responds right away, so it's quick, it's direct. I like that. I will say it's a little bit on the heavy side, but nothing that will, again, make customers walk away from it, because it feels normal. It's just not the softer thing out there, at least in the highway. I'll have to park the car and see in a parking lot or something to see how it is. But it feels good. It gives the sense of you are in control of the car, and this is a big car and a heavy car, as I said. So it's good that the steering is giving you that sensation of control of what is happening, and the car will do what you tell the car to do. So I really, really like that. The brakes feel really strong, and this car also have one pedal driving. I tested it, and the car slowed down right up, but not to a zero because I didn't have the space to go to zero. So I'll test it again, but I believe it has one pedal driving capability, so that's cool. And you can change the settings on that as well. I'm not a fan of it. It's like driving a golf cart. If you have, you know what one pedal driving is. I prefer regular driving and break my own car, and I don't know, old school, but I get that that's something that many people is attracted to it. And you know, maybe add to the not being so tired all the time while driving. I don't know, I like braking, let's put it that way. So the acceleration, of course, as I said, is crazy fast and crazy satisfying and super cool. The seats are really, really comfortable. I like them. They are on the firm side, but they are comfortable, so I like that. The steering wheel, besides of the weight of the steering wheel itself is really sporty looking and feeling, and it's thick. The rim is thick, so I like that too. Everything so far, I'm liking. I cannot find anything that I don't like about this car. Remember, I haven't driven any other EVs, so my reference is versus regular cars and my own car and so on. But I like it, and I think that's good too, because I guess the big thing here is, does it feel like a regular car? And the answer is yes. You can pretty quickly forget that you are in an electric car until you accelerate the car pretty much. Again, as an overall package, I like how this drive, I like how this feel, I really, really like it. I love how it looks, so it's gaining a lot of points for me, personally at least. Really cool. The 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV surprised me. Of course, it's my first time driving an electric vehicle, but this, I'm sure, will attract so many customers that are used to and love Chevrolet to the electric vehicle world.